Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, and the smartest AI in the world doesn't belong to America. It belongs to China. Would that really matter? At first, maybe not. But what if that AI could build better weapons, find new medicines, control the world's biggest companies, and make billions of dollars faster than any human ever could? Now ask yourself this. What if the next world superpower isn't decided by soldiers, but by artificial intelligence? And here's an even bigger question. Is America still winning this race, or is China catching up faster than anyone expected? Because right now, behind closed doors, inside secret research labs, and billion-dollar tech companies, the biggest battle of the 21st century has already begun. No bombs, no fighter jets, no missiles, just code, data, and powerful computer chips. This isn't just a competition between two countries. It's a race to shape the future of the entire world. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why experts believe this could become the most important technology battle in human history. Every generation has one big race. Every generation has a moment that changes history. In the 1960s, it was the space race. America and the Soviet Union fought to reach the moon first. Later, the internet changed how people worked, learned, and communicated. Today, the world is entering another historic race. But this time, the prize isn't the moon. It's artificial intelligence. Think about how much AI is already part of your daily life. It helps answer your questions. It recommends what you watch. It translates languages. It writes emails. It even helps doctors find diseases earlier. And this is only the beginning. Experts believe AI will soon become as important as electricity or the internet. The countries that lead this technology could become richer, stronger, and more powerful than ever before. That's exactly why America and China are investing hundreds of billions of dollars into AI. Because they know something most people don't. The country that leads AI could also lead the world's economy, its technology, and maybe even future wars. But here's something surprising. This race didn't start when ChatGPT became famous. It started many years earlier, long before most people had even heard the words. Artificial intelligence. Back then, one country had a huge advantage. America. It had the world's biggest tech companies, the world's best universities, the world's smartest engineers, and the world's fastest computer chips. For years, it looked impossible to beat. But while America was building Silicon Valley, China was quietly making its own plan. A plan that would eventually surprise the entire world. So how did America become the king of AI in the first place? That's where our story really begins. How America built an AI empire. Visual, old photos of Silicon Valley, Apple Garage, early computers, Google Campus, NVIDIA headquarters. If you want to understand today's AI war, you first have to understand one place. Silicon Valley, a small area in California. That changed the world forever. This is where some of the biggest tech companies on Earth were born. Apple, Google, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, NVIDIA, and later, OpenAI. These companies didn't just build apps. They built the technology that billions of people use every single day. Every search on Google, every video on YouTube, every online purchase, every smartphone helped America collect something incredibly valuable. Data. And in the world of AI, data is like fuel. The more high-quality data an AI can learn from, the smarter it becomes. But data alone wasn't enough. America had another huge advantage: the world's best universities. Places like Stanford, MIT, and Carnegie Mellon became home to some of the brightest AI researchers in the world. Students from every corner of the globe came to study there. Many of them stayed and started companies that would shape the future. That created a powerful cycle. Smart people built great companies. Those companies made billions of dollars. Then they invested that money into even better technology. Year after year, America kept moving further ahead. But there was one company that quietly became more important than almost anyone realized: NVIDIA. At first, NVIDIA made computer chips for video games. Nothing more. Or at least, that's what people thought. Then researchers discovered something unexpected. The same chips that could create realistic game graphics were also incredibly good at training artificial intelligence. Think of it like this: if AI is a race car, then NVIDIA builds the engine. Without that engine, the car doesn't move. As AI became more powerful, the demand for these chips exploded. Almost every major AI company wanted them. OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Meta, everyone needed NVIDIA's chips. And suddenly, one American company found itself at the center of the world's biggest technology race. For a moment, it looked like America had everything: the best companies, the best talent, the best chips, the biggest investors, the strongest AI models. It seemed impossible to catch up. But while Silicon Valley celebrated its success, China was watching, learning, planning, and preparing for a race that would soon become much bigger than anyone imagined. Because China wasn't trying to copy America anymore. It wanted to build its own AI future. And that's exactly what happened next. In the next chapter, we'll see how China turned artificial intelligence into a national mission, and why the world suddenly realized this race was no longer one-sided. China's secret plan. For years, America looked impossible to beat. It had the biggest tech companies, the smartest engineers, and the world's most powerful AI chips. So, how could China even compete? The answer is simple. China didn't try to beat America overnight. It made a long-term plan. While much of the world focused on social media, shopping apps, and smartphones, China was investing in something much bigger: artificial intelligence. The Chinese government believed AI wouldn't just change technology. It would change the economy, healthcare, education, manufacturing, and even national security. In other words, AI wasn't just another industry. It was the future. So China started investing billions of dollars. New AI research centers were built. Universities opened more AI programs. Thousands of engineers were trained. And Chinese tech companies were encouraged to move faster than ever before. Soon, companies like Baidu, Alibaba, Tencent, and Huawei began building their own AI systems. Each company had a different role. Some focused on cloud computing. Others worked on language models. Some built AI for factories, while others developed AI for smartphones and self-driving cars. Step by step, China was creating its own AI ecosystem. But China had one more advantage: its massive population. More people using digital services meant more data. And remember what we learned in the last chapter. Data is the fuel that helps AI learn. The more useful data an AI has, the better it can become. For years, this strategy worked. China's AI industry grew faster and faster. Then, something happened that caught the world's attention. A new generation of Chinese AI companies started proving they could compete with some of the biggest names in America. Suddenly, People weren't asking, can China build great AI? They were asking, how close is China to catching America? But just when China seemed ready to move even faster, America made a move that changed the entire game. Not with a new AI model, not with a new company, but with one decision about computer chips. And that decision started a battle now known as the chip war. At first, it sounded like just another trade dispute, a disagreement between two governments over technology. But behind closed doors, this was something far more serious, because America understood one critical fact. No matter how smart an AI model becomes, without powerful computer chips, it simply can't exist. Training a modern AI model requires enormous computing power. Billions of calculations, performed every second, for weeks, or even months. And only a handful of companies on Earth can build the chips capable of doing that. For years, America held the advantage. NVIDIA designed the world's most advanced AI chips. AMD continued pushing high-performance computing. And companies across Silicon Valley helped shape the software that powered modern artificial intelligence. But there was another player, one that most people had never heard of. TSMC, a company based in Taiwan. While companies like NVIDIA designed the chips, TSMC manufactured many of the world's most advanced semiconductors. Without its factories, many of today's most powerful AI systems simply wouldn't exist. Then there was ASML, a Dutch company, and the only company in the world producing extreme ultraviolet lithography machines at commercial scale. These extraordinary machines are essential for manufacturing the most advanced semiconductor chips, making them one of the most strategically important technologies in the global supply chain. Suddenly, America realized something extraordinary. Winning the AI race wasn't just about building better software. It was about controlling the supply chain behind artificial intelligence. And in October 2022, Washington made its move. The United States introduced sweeping export controls designed to restrict China's access to advanced AI chips and the equipment needed to manufacture them. The goal was simple: slow China's progress before it could catch America. For Beijing, this wasn't just another business problem. It was a direct challenge to the country's technological future. Chinese companies suddenly found it much harder to obtain the most advanced processors. Some projects slowed down. Others had to be redesigned. But something unexpected happened. Instead of backing away, China accelerated. The government invested even more heavily in domestic semiconductor research. Local companies began developing their own AI chips. Universities expanded chip engineering programs. What began as a restriction quickly became a powerful motivation. Many analysts now believe the export controls created two effects at the same time. They slowed China's access to cutting-edge hardware, while also encouraging China to build a more self-reliant semiconductor industry. And that changed the nature of the competition forever. This was no longer America versus China. It was an entirely new kind of Cold War. Not fought with soldiers, not fought with missiles, but with engineers, factories, algorithms, and microscopic transistors measured in billionths of a meter. Then another question began worrying governments around the world. What if the most important battlefield wasn't America or China, but Taiwan, an island producing many of the world's most advanced chips? An island whose stability could influence the future of artificial intelligence, the global economy, and even international security. For decades, countries fought over oil. Today, they are racing to secure something even more valuable: computing power, because in the age of artificial intelligence, the nation that controls the chips may ultimately shape the future of the world. But even chips don't guarantee victory. The next battle would be fought somewhere even more important. Inside the world's economy, military, and governments. And that's where the AI war becomes truly dangerous. The real war nobody saw. For decades, the world believed wars were fought with weapons. Missiles, fighter jets, aircraft carriers. But what if the most important war of the 21st century isn't being fought on a battlefield at all? What if it's being fought inside data centers, research labs, and computer servers that most people will never see? Here's the strange part. America and China aren't just racing to build better AI. They're racing to answer a much bigger question. Who gets to write the rules of the future? Because history teaches us something surprising. Every generation has one technology that quietly changes everything. Steam engines created industrial empires. Electricity transformed entire civilizations. The internet reshaped the global economy. And now, artificial intelligence may become the next technology that changes almost every industry. But here's the question almost nobody asks. If AI becomes the world's most valuable technology, who becomes the world's most powerful country? Most people assume the answer is obvious. The country with the smartest AI wins. But reality isn't that simple. Because AI alone doesn't create power. Power comes from what AI allows a country to do. Imagine discovering a new medicine years before anyone else. Imagine designing aircraft, computer chips, or clean energy systems in a fraction of the time. Imagine making scientific discoveries faster than your competitors. Now imagine doing that. Not once, but every single day. That's why many experts see AI as a general-purpose technology, a technology that can improve progress across many different fields rather than just one. It has the potential to accelerate research, productivity, and innovation throughout the economy. Suddenly, this isn't a competition over chatbots anymore. It's a competition over speed itself. The faster your AI learns, the faster your scientists discover, the faster your companies innovate, the faster your economy grows. And here's where the story becomes even more interesting. For years, people kept asking, who is winning? Maybe that's the wrong question, because history suggests the first country to invent something isn't always the one that benefits the most. Britain started the Industrial Revolution, but other nations eventually became industrial superpowers too. The United States pioneered many internet technologies. Yet today, billions of people use digital platforms built all over the world. Innovation doesn't stand still. It spreads, adapts, evolves. So maybe the real question isn't, can America stop China? Or, can China overtake America? Maybe the real question is, can any country stay ahead forever? Because every technological revolution follows the same pattern. Someone leads, someone catches up, then someone changes the game completely. And that's exactly what makes the AI race so unpredictable. What if, while the world is watching America and China, the next breakthrough comes from somewhere nobody expects? Or what if the biggest disruption doesn't come from a country at all, but from the AI systems themselves, accelerating innovation faster than any government planned? If that happens, this race will no longer be about catching up. It will be about keeping control. And that's the question every government is now trying to answer. Not, how do we build smarter AI? But, how do we remain in control of a world transformed by it? Because once intelligence can accelerate intelligence, the race changes forever. And that brings us to the final chapter, the question that may define the future of every nation. Who will control AI? Before AI begins reshaping the world itself. Beyond the AI war. For the last 15 minutes, we've been watching two superpowers race toward the future. America, China, two nations, one technology, one question: who will win? But what if that was never the real question? Because history teaches us something almost nobody notices. The countries that create the biggest inventions don't always control what those inventions become. The internet connected the world, but no single country controls every conversation that happens online. Electricity transformed civilization, but it didn't belong to one nation forever. And artificial intelligence may follow the same path. We keep talking about an AI race, as if there's a finish line. But there isn't, because this isn't a 100-meter sprint. It's the beginning of a new era, an era where intelligence itself becomes part of the world's infrastructure. Think about that for a moment. Roads connect cities. Power grids deliver electricity. The internet connects information. But AI could eventually connect decisions, helping scientists discover new medicines, helping engineers design safer aircraft, helping farmers grow more food, helping teachers personalize education, and helping governments solve problems faster than ever before. That's the opportunity. But every opportunity creates responsibility. The same technology that can discover life-saving treatments can also be used to create convincing deception. The same systems that improve cybersecurity can also be used to search for new vulnerabilities. The same intelligence that accelerates innovation can also accelerate competition. That's why many of the world's leading AI researchers no longer ask only, how powerful can AI become? They also ask, how do we make sure humanity remains in control? Because throughout history, technology has never made decisions. People did. And that may be the most important lesson of all. Artificial intelligence doesn't choose its values. People choose the values. People write the laws. People decide where the limits should be. Which means the future isn't being written by algorithms alone. It's being written by every government, every company, every researcher, and every decision we make today. So, will America lead? Maybe. Will China catch up? Maybe. Will another country surprise the world? That's possible too. History has a habit of surprising everyone. But perhaps history won't remember who released the fastest AI model. It may remember who earned the world's trust, who used intelligence not only to become more powerful, but to improve people's lives. Because in the end, power without trust never lasts, and technology without responsibility has never guaranteed a better future. So after everything we've discovered, from Silicon Valley to Beijing, from billion-dollar investments to microscopic computer chips, the AI war was never just about America. It was never just about China. It was about something much bigger, the future of human civilization. And that future hasn't been decided yet. It's being shaped right now by the choices we make, by the leaders we elect, by the technologies we build, and by the values we refuse to compromise. So maybe the most important question was never, who will win the AI war? Maybe the real question is, what kind of future will we choose to build with artificial intelligence? Because one day, our children won't ask, who won the race? They'll simply live in the world that race created. The future isn't decided by the country that creates the smartest machine. It's decided by the people who choose how that intelligence is used.